Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another comparison, one I'm actually pretty excited about because it's a favorite color of mine. I have a lot of favorite colors though, so let's not take that too far. Today we are going to look at Dioxazine Violet, sometimes called Dioxazine Purple. Now, the point of these comparisons right now is I'm comparing the name, not necessarily the pigment. Because it's a good lesson with watercolors to understand that a name only means so much, while the pigment can give you a lot more information about what you're going to get color-wise. That said, traditionally, dioxazine purples or violets, however they want to call it, use either PV23 or PV37. And the main differences there are it's a blue and a red shade, right? So the PV23 variety tends to be slightly redder than PV37. But again, it also depends on how it was made, the conditions of preparation, grinding, milling, all that. So we'll see how it kind of varies from there. I have 6 brands today. I know it's not as large as I normally do, and 2 of them I pulled because while they are not specifically labeled Dioxazine Violet, the manufacturer gave it its own name, but they are Dioxazine Violet or Purple, and that is the Winsor & Newton, which is often referred to as the Winsor Violet, but it also will say dioxazine in parentheses next to it, and it's PV23. And then Schmincke Violet. Now this one doesn't advertise itself as dioxazine unless you read the actual product description, but it's PV23. Now the other ones are all either called Dioxazine Violet or Dioxazine Purple, but I just wanted to add those two because I knew they were the dioxazine shade or color, and we'll go from there. So like I said, we only have 6 today, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first one I'm starting with is from Core. Now this is PV23 and very blue. I am wondering if this one was mislabeled. It's awfully blue. Next is Mission Gold PV23. Now that is the right color. I'm thinking this swatch here got mislabeled. Such a beautiful color from Mission. Up next is A Gallo PV37. I really like that one. That's a beautiful color. Okay, so this is Winsor Violet. I need to pick up a little more there. Right. And this is Roman Schmal, which is also PV37. I'm not quite sure what's going on with my Winsor Violet. It's normally darker than that. I love the way it works onto the wet paper. Now we have Schmincke Violet, which is PV23. Alright, now let's wait for those to dry. Okay, so they have all dried. I think the free sample I got of this one was definitely mislabeled because this almost looks like a phthalo blue of some kind, or even an ultramarine. Not a dioxazine. It's not a big deal though. So let's compare the ones that we did have. So I guess we have 5. We have the Mission Gold, which is actually quite lovely. The A Gallo one is PB37. It's almost a bit murky. It kind of has like a dusky purple feel to it versus the more vibrant purple that you get from the others. And that's interesting because, you know, it is PB37, but so is Roman Schmal. Let's see how this one's just a little bit richer and not as dusky. The Winsor & Newton Dioxazine Violet is quite pretty. And then the Schminke Violet with PB23 isn't too bad either. However, I mean, I really love the dusky finish of the A Gallo one. You can actually buy these now, by the way. You don't have to go through their Etsy or their store. You can get them from Jackson's. Makes it a lot easier. But to be honest, I really like the Mission Gold one. Roman Schmal being a close second. Roman Schmal is one of my favorite brands. But yeah, I really enjoy the color payout of Mission Gold. I think it's just pretty. Whereas I love this dusky purple. I just don't feel like I would use it as a dioxazine violet or treat it as such, even though the pigment's, you know, there. It's just got an interesting color. It'd be beautiful though in like a fall, winter palette. And then yeah, the Roman Schmal, I really enjoy that one. Winsor & Newton isn't too bad at all. But it's interesting because PB23, PB37, and these two are very close to one another in looks, whereas this PB23 isn't. They're close enough on the wash, but when it comes to mass tone, not as much. So yeah, I'd have to say it's those two. I probably will redo this one down the road, gather up a couple other dioxazine purples. It's not a purple I typically collect, simply because I have one Roman Schmal one already that I love, so why buy more? But as always, if anyone ever has, you know, extra tubes where they can send me big, fat, juicy dot cards, not like the dinky dot cards you get to buy, like this Winsor & Newton one here, where I can't pull enough off to even do a proper sampling. But if anyone ever has extra dots, I will leave my P.O. box below, along with my email. And if you send me some dots of colors you would like to see in comparisons, I'm more than willing to collect all of them. And then also, the more I get, the easier it is. I did have 2 of these donated to me. So that was really nice because it's hard to justify just purchasing a whole tube for a comparison. And, you know, some brands don't, you know, it's not very cheap to just buy a half pan either. And then what am I going to do with all these paints? So like a big chunky dot card is always appreciated. But yeah, I'll probably redo this one down the road because I hate only having 5. And I really want to find the core one and redo it, but I wanted to show you guys the results nonetheless, in case you were kind of curious which one to use. So until next time, take care. Bye now.